Hello, hello, hello. This is Rebel Ray, your hostess with the mostest, and we're coming live from Mosdale Taft Community Center. And listen, it's been a long time since I've been in this hood. I love it. We grew up here actually, where we have Black Family Day historically and Juneteenth. And we're so happy to be in space today celebrating our fathers because our fathers' voices matter. Listen, we have dedicated a beautiful mural. You have to come out to this space. San Joaquin Public Health has paid that with your beautiful tax dollars and grant money. But it is beautiful. The piece is created by world-renowned Kia Duris Carter. And listen, you can see her murals everywhere, but this in particular really supports the family unit and brings community. It really demonstrates the essence and the beauty that we see in our community. And today I have my lovely ladies here, my lactivists. Come on, y'all. Y'all can clap it up for my lactivists. We're streaming live right now on Reinvent South Stockton Coalition and the Prune Tree Podcast. And if you're tuning in, and you're wondering what this is about, we knew we had to get out to everyone. If you're nationwide, if you're here locally or statewide, we wanted to bring awareness on what's happening in San Joaquin. There's a full strategy to support decreasing the mortality and morbidity rates of African American mothers as well as their children. And so here we have strategized with our lactivists who also work with different partnerships. And I'm going to start with the closest here, my activist but advocate for San Joaquin Public Health, Brianna Wyatt. Hi, Brianna.
Hi, RC. Thank you for having me. Yeah, so my name is Rihanna Wyatt. I'm with San Joaquin County Public Health Services. I'm the Perinatal Equity Initiative, and so we're just supporting Black families, right? We're trying to improve birth outcomes for the Black and African American pregnant community. So I'm just very happy to be here today and to lift up our fathers, right? Because we love our fathers, right? Our dad.
Ashe. And you also represent the Black Infant Health Program. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so the Black Infant Health Program, so our coordinator is Angela Buchalam, amazing leadership. So we've been serving the community for over 35 years in the BIH program. It was designed to address Black birth disparities by supporting moms and providing them with the wraparound support that is needed, not only to meet their goals, but to also make sure that they have a healthy and safe delivery. And so baby also survives and thrives past the age of 1 because Black babies are dying at 2 to 3 times higher, 2 times the rate compared to other race and ethnicities before their first birthday. So a beautiful program with a wraparound approach.
It is a beautiful program. Testing 1 2. My microphone went out, but I'm okay. It is a beautiful program, and I actually went through the program with my firstborn, and it was a trying time for me. And I remember the car seats and the love that I received. Just going in and seeing someone that looked like me, that I could talk about my issues. And you know, we're lifting up fathers, so I won't talk about my child's father, but bless him. But I also want to tell you, thank you. You've been an advocate in this community for how long?
Since 2016. What is that? 7 years?
7 years. Congratulations. And it's been hard work. We've been doing the health symposium, and we're on our second maternal health symposium. And listen, we had leaders and organizers and advocates come out. And we said, we're going to come together and support a strategic plan. And Rihanna has been leading that, and I want to thank you, Rihanna, for being here. It is such a beautiful event. We have some of our backdrop here with our throne cheer for our fathers, as well as our resources, and as well as food. And you know, we love food and music. There you go. So we're going to go next to our next lactivist here. This is our our resident South Stockton Resident Summit Senior Project Coordinator over Health. And her name is Kimberly Robinson. Thank you, Kimberly, for coming.
Thank you for having me. And like it was mentioned, my name is Kim Robinson. I'm the Senior Health Equity Program Coordinator for Reinvent South Stockton Coalition. And I'm honored to be here today lifting up the voices of fathers because when we are out in the community and speaking with folks, that's what we hear is that fathers feel like they're not heard or they're in the background and the focus is on the mother and the child. And so we want to make sure the fathers feel loved and welcomed and, you know, have that support as well. So I'm honored to be here and thank you.
Ashe Queen. Now you know you've been running around. I'm gonna give you your flowers while you can smell them. And I want to tell you thank you. And I know you've been dealing with a recent loss. And a lot of our community members don't know that. But that's how our black women show up for the community. And I'm gonna just be real. We carry a lot, and I think all women carry a lot. But we show up when we believe in things and we stand together. And I just want to tell you thank you. I appreciate you, Kim.
that. I appreciate
you. I also want you to kind of touch on the policy and advocacy piece that we're seeing with Black Women for Wellness, if that's okay.
Of course, you know, I always love to talk about policy. So, my other hat, I work at Black Women for Wellness, and I lead the part of the policy work that we do there. And so right now we have 7 pieces of legislation that's going through the legislative process. Mainly they're focusing on reproductive health and also, you know, focusing on some of the implicit bias and cultural competency that we're seeing, the lack thereof in the healthcare systems. And so we are, you know, right now they're moving their way through. One of our bills did get voted down, and we were pretty sad about that. It was a housing bill, and that was one that I was personally leading because I know right now, you know, we talk about you know, what's happening in the healthcare system, but we also need to start talking about what's happening around housing and the homelessness that is happening and how landlords are taking advantage of folks. And this is just my opinion, but taking advantage of folks with these application fees. And we had one person who paid over $1,000 just in application fees applying for a place. You're making minimum wage. You know, it's hard out here right now. And so if you're paying $1,000 just for application fees, where are you going to get the money when it's time for you to now have to pay your rent and pay the deposit and everything else? So,
and let's just really talk about it. That's kind of a con. I mean, to have that many application fees coming in for one unit, you already know you're going to take one applicant.
Right.
And we have to be careful because our populations that we're serving and we're supporting are already vulnerable. And during those times where you're stressed, and we don't know how to react or who to turn to, we need a real good advocate that can help us with housing as well. We're talking about the social determinants of health right now in the state of America. And looking at those social determinants of health, we can't just deal with the surface causes. We got to deal with the root causes that support the sustainability of our family. So I want to thank you again for your advocacy work. Yes, thank you. Next, we're going to turn here to my left here. We have our beautiful activist, Cherie Wilburn. And Cherie, listen, you have been activated in this community for how long now?
I'm 27.
You're 27?
I'm 47. From birth. I mean, I was born into doing this work through my late mother, Pastor Amelia Adams. So if you knew her, you knew you were going to go to work. So we've been doing this work from the beginning of time. It's ministry work, right? Going to the highways and the byways. And so I call myself the Southside Auntie. And so I hold true to that. I love Stockton and I love the Southside.
You acting real shy though right now. I can't really hear you.
I'm shy now.
You can't be shy. You hold that microphone.
Southside Auntie.
Come on.
I love my community. I love my people, and I love the Southside. And so I've been doing this work for over 31 years, and I'm true to it. I'm not new to it, and I love it.
That's right. That's right. And so how do you help out right now with the Black Birth Equity Initiative? Can you tell us what you do?
Well, I am actually an original CAB member for the PEI, for the Perinatal Equity Initiative Community Advisory Board. I've been here from since the beginning of time. I'm also an angel mom, so I bring my lived experience and my story, and I've turned my pain into purpose. And my pain was being an angel mom. I have had a stillbirth and a SIDS baby, and so I'm out here telling my story. I'm helping moms, advocating, showing up in those spaces where they need us, and not just the moms, but the dads. And that's why we're here today, is that we have to bring back order to our families. We have to allow our men to be men. We have to allow for those spaces, but we also have to advocate when they go into those doctors' offices and those visits with their moms, with their the child of their mother, their wives, their girlfriends, their baby mamas, and let them know that you also have a voice. This is your child too. And so today is about uplifting our dads, uplifting our men, and breaking down those stereotypes that our black men don't care about our babies, that they're not in our families and they're not in our lives, because they are. They are.
Ashe. Now, that was some Kool-Aid that was hard to drink for some of you all. I know it was a little hard for me. I was an immature first mom. I thought I could do it all until I was in a corner. I was crying. And I had to call on my elder women. And a lot of times it's those grandmothers. And there's those TTs and the abuelitas that come in, and tias that come in and support. But also we have to uplift our fathers, because they're there. They're most of the time traditionally our breadwinners.
Yes.
And our ability to also connect emotionally and wait as our bodies heal. I know that's so hard for y'all sometimes, but wait as our bodies heal. So we're going to go to our next activist, Miss Eva. Come on, Miss Eva.
Good afternoon, everybody. Everybody watching and listening. Hello. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. We're going to have to turn your mic up, Miss Eva. I want the streaming family to be able to hear you. You put that mic right up to your mouth there.
Is that better?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Excellent.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Eva Cobb. I am right now acting as a community healthcare worker at the Amelia and Adam Whole Life Family, Whole Life Center. But we feel like a family, so it's all the same. I have been in this particular space for a little over a year now, but I have over 27 years in providing education, health and wellness to our prenatal families, just helping give knowledge and power to our families and help them to be healthy and successful.
Ashe, Queen. I appreciate you. All right, next we have our wonderful, now listen, one of the original black activists in San Joaquin County, actually licensed, and it's a very long license, so I'm going to let you introduce yourself, Miss Tamisha Turner. Let's go. Hey.
Of course, test, 1, 2. Thank you, RC. Actually, it's an international board certification, so I'm an internationally board certified lactation consultant. My name is Tamisha Turner. It used to be Valverde, so some of you may know me in the community as Tamisha Valverde. I'm the co-founder of Flourishing Families, Inc., which is a nonprofit here in San Joaquin County that works in the area of Black maternal health, and focusing on helping to reduce the disparities in the Black community around Black birth. And we are a backbone partner with the Reinvent South Stockton coalition centered around the Black birth equity work.
Now let them know where they can find you, because that beautiful consulting room, along with the connection to that beautiful birthing room, won't you tell them about that?
Absolutely. So we have the privilege of, again, partnering with Reinvent South Stockton Coalition with the project called the Birthing Tree Lactation Room. It is located in at 110 North San Joaquin. I was about to say Fremont. I was like, nope, I'm sending them to the wrong place. No, San Joaquin Street, and it's 316. So forgive me, because I'm still getting used to having a home, having an address for Flourishing Families. So room 316 is Flourishing Family Suite. 317 is the lactation space. It is a space where we provide a group education around lactation, breastfeeding, birth, and birth work. Also, I've been able to do consults there to provide free to the community, which has been a blessing.
Ashe, thank you, Queen. I appreciate all of my activists. Chop it up, clap it up, and heart it up if you're watching. And we are going to now, and I want my indigenous brothers and sisters and my family too. I want forgiveness because before we start anything, we do a land acknowledgement. And so we're going to have our senior project coordinator, Kimberly Robinson, do our land acknowledgement. Thank you.
Thank you. So yes, we want to make sure that we acknowledge the land that we are currently occupying. And so we acknowledge the exploitation of our Black ancestors who toiled on this land, building America's wealth and freedom, and survived despite never being compensated and being denied their sovereignty. While our ancestors have survived, we also honor and remember those whose legacy were cut short due to genocidal anti-Black violence. We are committed to repairing the harms caused by individuals, institutions, and the U.S. government, and we honor the gifts, resilience, and sacrifices of our Black ancestors by protecting our spirits, seeking light and laughter, learning into love, and investing into our collective legacy. Thank you.
Ashe, Queen. And may I also add that we honor the Yokits and the Miwoks, for this is the land that they claim and also supported in our waterways as well as the land. And so next, as we're transitioning off, ladies, I thank you so much. Be beautiful, be bold, and be Black. We're going to move towards our spoken word by Aaron Chapman. We want to make sure that Aaron is here. If you're viewing live, you have tuned in to the Prune Tree Podcast. I am your host with the most is Rebel Ray. Mr. Aaron Chapman, before you speak that thing, right? Happy Father's Day to you, King.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. How y'all doing?
And you know he not shy, so I'm gonna have to tell him back. He will steal the show. But let's talk about you chilling today.
Yeah.
It's your day, huh? So
Like
let's
it.
talk about, before you spit this word, let's talk about some of the advocacy that you do in our community. You are everywhere. We see you with the young people. You're supporting a lot of our community organizations over the years. And so tell me, what are you doing now? How are you supporting the community, and how can people support you?
Well, I'm actually in a transitional state in life at this moment because I'm planning to move. Moving out of state, going back to where I'm originally from, which is Houston, Texas. But I still support by sharing. I know I have a large platform on social media. So anything that I can share, anything that's positive in the community that I can highlight and talk about or just share amongst the people that follow me, I do. I think that Stockton is a very unique community. I think its diversity speaks volumes to a lot of the good that comes from here. One thing that I always say is Stockton is a city of resilience. People know how to bounce back for real, from all type of different scenarios.
And that's real,
Yeah.
And Stockton will mold that out of you. But I want you to know that you're gifted. I see you, and I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Okay? And I'm
Thank
going
you.
to give you this platform. You could stand, you could sit and speak it, but I know how you get, and you make sure that our streaming family can see you and hear you. Ashe.
Ashe, for sure. So, sorry y'all, the poem's not memorized, and it's a little hot. My memory might be shot. Um, but this piece that I'm gonna do, it's called For My Daughter. This was for my daughter. and any black girl just like her, you are a leader. And I don't mean that facetiously, I say that with intention. So that you know that any man that steps to you needs to step with intention. Treat you like the princess you are, as y'all grow into kings and queens respectively. Always have a giving heart, but never forget to protect yourself. The world will try to use you before you learn to use it. But that's okay. As your magic maneuvers you into the world's eye, you'll stand boldly, beautifully, empowered to achieve your dreams, because this papa finna speak life into you. Obstacles will come, but you'll be agile. How you stand will command respect, and dignity shall drip as you stride, head high to the sky. Yeah, this for my daughter and any little black girl just like her. Know that you're not a prize, but a gift from God. As a prize, as a prize, excuse me, as a prize may be won, and you can live without it, but a gift is bestowed onto you to be cherished and protected. Cause see, your daddy will not only die for you, but he lives for you. Meaning I will take my life and make it grander so that you will be able to say, Daddy made sure we were comfortable, and when push comes to shove, your daddy pushed his way into danger just so you knew you were protected. Yeah, this is for my daughter and any little girl just like her. Baby girl, boys don't stand like this. And I'll make sure you know the difference as life takes its natural journey. Daddy is here to watch you make that journey. Yeah, this is for my daughter and any little black girl just like her. Ball out, princess. Papa's got your back.
Ashe, you never fail. You spit that. That needs to be in the publishing or something.
That's coming.
Okay, you know it. I'll be prophesying and stuff. You know.
End of the summer, that's the goal.
Ashe. I thank you, King, for coming on and sharing your talent. And I appreciate you. And I want you to enjoy yourself. Please make sure you got a raffle prize. We have some beautiful.
I think I'm in the raffle.
Okay, good job, because we're about to have a raffle now.
The raffle, you gotta do the scan code, right?
Yeah, you gotta do the scan code because I gotta pay funders too. You know,
right. It's like 2 scan codes, right?
There you go.
It's 2. Yeah. I'm trying to help somebody out too at the same time.
All right.
It's 2 scan codes, right? It's an orange one and a black one. At the front. Yeah. All right. Yeah, I did both of those. I hope y'all did them. I don't never win, so I'm talking. Hopefully, I win.
You know he liked the microphone too. I love you. Next, we're gonna have one of our lactivists come up and pull 2 raffle prizes. You all get your raffle tickets, and I see someone super beautiful well, both of y'all are beautiful. I'm seeing a bunch of people that I love in the audience. I'm gonna ask, while we're waiting on that raffle prizes, that our beautiful muralist, Kia, come up to the stage and be in this frame with me. I can't wait to have you on camera. Listen. And shout out to Mario Enriquez in the back. Let's go. Uh-oh, Liliana. My baby. How are you?
Raffle numbers.
All right, we got the raffle numbers right here. Miss Lactivist, go ahead and bring 2 of those prizes. And we're going to see which one of our families won a beautiful prize.
All right, we have raffle ticket number.
Now, Miss Lactivist. Miss Lactivist.
Yes, ma'am.
You know, our family on the stream and want to see you too.
Oh.
Remember what I told you?
Hey, y'all.
Hey, y'all. All right.
She not in the background.
want to keep that
we
on.
have a little backpack here full of goodies. Because, daddies don't necessarily want to carry the diaper bag. So we got a nice
backpack. That's awesome.
Backpack. So the number is 002252.
00225. Oh, come on, Daddy. Oh, let's go. Look at his smile on his face. Please. Hold on, make sure he come in the frame. That's right. Let him sit down right here.
Sit right here.
Okay, you get to be on the podcast too. This is what I don't tell people. Go ahead and have a seat.
Okay.
Now we're going to give you the microphone. I want you to introduce yourself because I got funders in the audience, okay? They need to know I'm giving these nice raffle prizes out.
Yeah. My name.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay.
All right.
My name is Ray Sean Rowe.
Okay,
Yeah,
Rayshawn,
yeah.
and whereabouts do you live?
Oh, yeah, Stockton, born and raised, 1998, baby. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, I'm just from out here, man. I really love what y'all doing right now, especially for the community. Like, y'all really doing your thing, man. I really love it.
I love it, King, and I'm glad that you're here. Now, who is supporting you? And we would like to bring your family in on the frame as well. Come on, family. Bring that beautiful baby.
Yeah, my baby's
Miss
not mine.
Lakovich, you can sit on this side of Miss Kia.
Oh, yeah.
We want to go ahead and see the baby. I love the baby. Oh. I hope you guys get a photo shoot because she is gorgeous.
Thank you.
Yes. So, mommy, introduce yourself.
I'm Kimberly.
You have to talk in the mic. Do we have an extra mic for mommy?
I'm Kimberly Poacher. This is my baby, Zamaya.
Zamaya. Hi. These are your TTs you've never met. Hi. And how old is Zamaya?
She's 5 months. She turned 5 months on the 7th.
Oh, and she's 5 months and she's chunky just like we like them. And so are you breastfeeding, mommy?
Yes, I am.
Good job. Come on, clap it up. Come on. We love to encourage your breastfeeding. I want you to make sure you're connected to resources. Daddy, can you open that gift and show us what you got?
Yeah, of course.
All right.
Man. Let me see who we got up in here.
Okay. Let's put it up here so our family in the streaming community can see it too.
Oh, thanks. Thank you. Okay, let me see what we got up in here, man. Bust it open.
Bust it open. It's the baby shower.
Oh, yeah, we got a whole bunch of stuff in here, man. We got a little
Tupperware set.
Yeah. It's gonna be ready for me when I go to work. You know what I'm saying? And we got a little onesie. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'll sleep the safest like this. We got some pens. Oh yeah. Ballpoint pens for real. Oh yeah, we got notebooks. Oh, we got plenty of reading material.
Oh, the baby book. Give it to the baby. You can give it to the baby.
Yeah.
That's right. That's your reading time.
I'm gonna definitely be able to read to her. You know, oh yeah. Also, we got some. Gotta make sure the dental is right, man. We need that. We need that, man. Yeah. Oh yeah, and well, y'all got this book.
More baby books.
Oh yeah, bro. Plenty of baby books in here, man. We got the little ruler, man. Oh yeah, what's this?
Some little socks.
Oh, some socks.
And some resources as well.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And I love this. This is a little starter health kit for you. And this was actually dedicated by San Joaquin Public Health Services. Miss Virginia Celicia Lopez, Maternal Child and Adolescent Health, MCAH Community Health Worker. We'd like to thank you for that.
I appreciate it, y'all. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much. And we'd like to get some pictures of you and make sure you get some beautiful baby pictures and make sure you enter the raffle for the photo shoot as well, mommy. Both of you all can have a photo shoot if your number is called. And that is the grand prize. And so, Mr. Photographer, are they ready to exit the frame? Did you get their pictures?
Let's get one straight.
Okay.
Straight.
Okay.
Thank you. That's how we celebrate our families, y'all. Our next raffle
Number is 002253.
0022
53.
002253 is going once. It's going twice. Okay, we're going to pull another one and put that to the side. Are you checking your ticket? No? Okay. Okay. Let's do one more. She only brought one ticket. While she's getting another ticket, I have this renowned artist. Now listen, this woman is outstanding. We have had her on the podcast before. And you look, first of all, you looking all summery and cute and stuff.
Trying to be cute like you.
Ooh. I love having cute friends. Listen, so Miss Burris Carter, you are the renowned murist of Stockton, California, and also an international murist of Stockton, from Stockton, California. And a lot of your information and a lot of your murals can be found where?
On my Instagram.
On your Instagram. So
No, but I have a lot in Stockton. Yeah, downtown by the bus station, by the in the children's home of Stockton, at Tie Me Up restaurant, at Louder restaurant. Oh gosh,
you have your brand new one.
Brand new one here at the Taft Community
So
Center.
tell us about that one at the Taft Community Center. Tell us about that.
First, I have to say the Taft Community Center is pretty awesome. It's a great space. I learned so much about it. And the people here were so supportive.
Our lactivist, you have to mute your microphone, lactivist. Okay. Go ahead. I'm sorry, kid.
The Taft Community Center is awesome.
Yes.
I've been here working daily and watching people come and go, people having picnics, kids playing.
I love
Catching
it.
turtles at the creek,
Catching turtles at the creek? We have turtles? They must be those snapping turtles.
There's garden snakes, there's horses.
Garden snakes. Hold on now. Garden snakes.
A garden snake came straight for my daughter.
No, it didn't.
But they like her. It just bundled up and she picked it up.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
It's a whole.
It's just a whole atmosphere out here.
Yeah.
So this is one of our county parks.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's in the city limits, but it's one of our county parks. Now tell me, how big was this wall? Because my goodness, I could just see you on a scaffold. How big is this wall?
This wall, the mural was supposed to be 48 feet long, 10 feet high, but I went about 15 feet high, a little bit higher, just because because it looked better higher. But
so it's about 18 feet, you said?
It's 48 by 15.
48 by 15, and so 48 in length and 15 in vertical height.
Yes.
And so that is amazing, Kia. And listen, I love how you gave a face but didn't give a face. It could be either one of us.
Yes.
Tell us about that, because you always have hidden little secrets in your mural.
Yeah. Well, I wanted people in the community to be able to picture themselves in the situation. Like, you could see your face at the doctor's office, your face getting a checkup, you and your family going to make sure that you guys are healthy, taking your baby to the doctor. That's what I wanted, because it's a community mural, it's for the people. And I wanted it to not be look like a specific person.
Right. And you wanted to just be recognized by everyone and welcoming by everyone.
Yes.
And that's what this community park has been about. It really has served this area, man, I think almost over 50 years now.
I've never been to this park. And
You've never been, and you grew up on the south side, on this side. Yeah.
So many times.
Yeah.
And I never came here, and spending these couple weeks here, this place is great.
It's great.
It's really community. Everybody's positive. There's the regular people who come here every day. They're my friends now.
And I think they serve over 400 families per month with food.
I believe it.
With food service.
Yes.
And listen, food disparities are real. And so, the grocery bills are real for us that don't get food subsidies.
Anybody who needs some food and they don't have the money to get it, they can come here, and there's water and there's food. They can cool off. They have a clean, cool air room where you got allergies or asthma, you can sit in there and just refresh.
I love it. I love it. So you are celebrating all of your babies. And how are you celebrating this Father's Day? Are you uplifting any particular father?
Yes, my husband, I'm uplifting him. He just had surgery, so he's, going through some hurdles, and so we're uplifting him.
Yay! And call his name out so he know you love him. Shambia. Say my name, say my name. Okay, Shambia.
What is the problem?
Uh-oh. See, she caught the y'all. That's why I love you, Kia. Listen, thank you. And we are going to move towards dedicating this mural. And so we're going to ask Miss Rihanna Wyatt to come up. Miss Rihanna Wyatt is a representative here from Public Health who's been supporting in this event closely. And we want to just hear from San Joaquin Public Health on the reasoning behind the mural, and any information that they would like. You have to come in the frame. Any information that they would like to share. And after she shares, we're all going to go over to the mural. We're going to cut that ribbon. We're going to dedicate it. And we're going to just love on the community here, take some pictures around it. And we will be back shortly. So let's go on to Rihanna right now.
Yeah, thank you. I do have my notes here because I wanted to make sure I did not forget anyone or forget anything that I did want to share. But first off, thank you everybody for being here today. We're excited. We're just excited for the community to share and experience and enjoy this mural here at Taft Community Center. I want to say a special thank you to Kia. She did that. She did a beautiful job. Her vision, just everything. Amazing person to work with. Just so friendly, so welcoming. And I feel the passion behind the message that she was trying to send with the mural. So thank you so much, Kia. Taft Community Center. I don't see Terrence, but I do want to thank Terrence. He's the manager here, and again, very supportive of our vision from day one. From the first phone call, he's like, yes, yes, we welcome this, we welcome it, we're here to support you. And all of the staff here at Taft have just been very supportive. To the Perinatal Equity Initiative, Community Advisory Board, and Black Infant Health Community Advisory Board, we're a joint board. They're the backbone. They have been supportive also of this vision of our Rally Around Our Sisters theme and campaign, in taking a village and coming together as a collaborative, as a community in collaboration to bring this mural here at Taft Community Center. So thank you. There's some CAB members out and about and networking, fellowshipping, and all of that. But the mural, honestly, so like I said, it comes from our PEI BIH CAB public awareness campaign, Rally Around Our Sisters. And the concept or theme is derived from It Takes a Village. At Public Health, we're all about collaboration, community support, and lifting up community voice. And so for us, number one, the mural, it really acknowledges that Black babies and Black moms are dying. And so first and foremost, it's the acknowledgement piece. The second part of it, it lifts, it honors, and recognizes the lives that have been lost. Okay, the mothers and babies. And it sends community voice, it uplifts community voice by being on a community center. And so we really want you to share this with your families. We're hoping that it starts conversation. Take your little selfies in front of it. It's kind of big, so you kind of got to get a little far to do that. But we're just so excited. I do want to bring up Liliana Udang, who is the district coordinator with Susan Eggman's office. She actually has a presentation for Taft Community Center.
Yes, come on up, Liliana. Come on up and listen. Thank you, Rihanna, again. Thank you. Shout out to San Joaquin Public Health for coming in and connecting on this work and partnering. It was a wonderful idea to have the baby shower at this site. And again, we're uplifting our fathers today. We're really focusing on them. Liliana, please come and have a seat right here with Rihanna. And please introduce yourself and read that recognition.
Thank you, RC. So my name is Liliana Udang. I am State Senator Susan Talamantes Eggman's district director. When we heard that Taft had taken on the mural for this initiative, we thought, while we love RSSC and we love public health, it takes a lot of sometimes courage and leadership to put something like that up on your wall to really show where the priorities lie for the community. And so we wanted to come out and make sure that we provided a special recognition for Taft Community Center in particular, for the mural, the work in prioritizing health equity, maternal health equity, and Black maternal health equity in particular. So on behalf of the California State Senate, the Office of Senator Susan Talamantes Eggman, we wanted to present a certificate of recognition to the Taft Community Center. And then when Terrence gets around again out here, I will give it to him.
Thank you so much, and thank you, Mr. Terrence West, wherever you are. We thank Senator Susan Talamantes Eggman. She has always been a powerhouse and a supportive for all of our rights equally, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart. We're going to now turn it over to Rihanna Wyatt.
So a couple more things. I do want to bring up Angela Buchla, our Black Infant Health Coordinator, because she has also been a backbone support behind this mural. And she's going to share a few words about our campaign and the concept that it takes a village and why it is so important to rally around our sisters.
Welcome, Angela.
Thank you, Maita.
Welcome, Angela. Welcome.
Thank you, thank you. It's always an honor to be here. I have to confess, honestly, on my way here, and I saw the environment. This was actually my first time on this out of town. It reminded me of home, of compound, what compound community looks like. And that tree over there, if I close my eyes, I can see my grandmothers, all the women in the village sitting down on that tree.
Ashe.
That's where they stay to support each other,
Yes.
to bring their story alive. So as we are celebrating this, our theme is It Takes a Village. I wanted to say everything off head, but I wrote things down about what community is all about and what it means that it takes a village. So, community is a concept that universally valued and sought out. It is the height of acceptance and the pathway to belonging. In our modern world, we all strive to find our place, to be part of something greater than ourselves. Nowhere is more evident than the journey of a sisterhood or motherhood. The value of community is deeply re-established in the heart of motherhood, reflecting the wisdom captured in the Igbo saying,
Yes.
it takes a village. It means, and it originated by the Igbos of West African Nigeria. It means Ohanazonwa, which means the village raises the child. It takes a village. It's a profound expression of collective effort required not only to raise a child, but also to spark radical change in our society. This thread goes beyond the immediate family, extending to sisterhood, friends, neighbors, teachers, and even strangers who contribute to the growth and well-being of a child. It reminded that raising a child is not lonely endeavor, but a communal one. Each one of us plays a part, consciously or unconsciously, in shaping the lives of younger generation. As we gather here today in this community center, let us take a moment to reflect the love, effort, and the belief that have been poured into us by others. Think about the countless moments when someone stepped into to offer support, guidance, or even simple as kind word. These gestures, big or small, have helped raise us into a glorious, empowered people we are today. Our presence here is a testament to the power of community. We are the product of our collective nurturing. Each one of us carrying forward the legacy of those. Thank you. Each one of us carry the legacy of those who came before us. Our sisters, mentors, friends, and family have all contributed to our growth, shaping our values and beliefs. They have shown us the true meaning of community by being there when it matters the most. In this room, we see the embodiment of the village. Each face represents a story of support and encouragement. Together, we have the power to continue this tradition, to be the village for the next generation. Let us embrace these responsibilities with open heart, knowing that our combined effort can create a brighter future for all. So as we stand here today, let us celebrate the spirit of community. Let us honor those who have helped us along the way and committed to being that village for others. In doing so, we ensure the spirit of it takes a village, thrive, nurturing and guiding the heart and the mind of the future.
Ashe, Ashe. Thank you, Queen. What beautiful words. I mean, I couldn't have said it better. And a lot of times we don't have that essence of a community anymore. We have to go back to that. I think about our Swahili word, Ubuntu. I am because you are, right? And you exist. I am because you matter. You're here. So seeing ourselves in each one of us This mural does this, and I want to congratulate San Joaquin Public Health as well as the community of Mostel Taft and Miss Kia Durs Carter on a well done job. Like always, you captured the hearts and the minds of what we want. Thank you so much. And we're going to now take a break. It will be a 10-minute break. Please try to get some refreshments. I also want you to know that we're going to be out here until 7 p.m. We have games, we have prizes, we have raffle prizes, we have a beautiful photography background that will support our fathers, and we're giving out a grand prize to be to have your own photography session where you will be uplifted in our 2025 calendar for our Black Equity Initiative. I am Rebel Ray, and I will see you in just a moment. Podcast. We are streaming live from Mosdale Taft Community Center, and I have here on this beautiful, sunny, windy day, and I hope all of this beautiful pageantry we have here is holding up. If it falls on your head, don't have sis liable. Anyway, that's my failed attempt to be happy and funny and comedic. But I am R.C. Thompson, the Executive Director of Reinvent South Stockton Coalition. I'm also known as Rebel Ray, the hostess with the mostest on Prune Tree Podcast. And I am excited to have our keynote speakers here to talk about the awareness of our Black men. But before we do that, and before I introduce all of them, we're going to have some raffle prizes. Remember, we're at a baby shower. We're going to have 3 raffle prizes. We're going to have one of our lactivists step right here in the frame. And you can step right over here with Charles here. And you're right in the frame. Please introduce yourself, lactivist.
Hello, everyone. It's Tamisha Turner again.
All right. Go ahead and say your number.
My numbers
All
are.
right.
Y'all ready? Y'all ready? Yeah. Last 4. 2254. 2254.
Come on.
2254. Nope. Next one. 2258. 2258.
All right.
Mr. Jeffrey Johnson, come on down.
Yay!
Yes.
Let's clap it up for
Jeff.
our father. And we're gonna ask our father to come into the frame.
Come on up here, Jeff.
Yes, you can come right over here with Mr. Lattimore here
On this side.
on our guest, and we're going to present you with a gift. Now, Mr. Jeff, I'm going to give you a microphone, if you don't mind, Mr. Lattimore. And if you can come right into the frame here. You have been a part of Stockton for how long? If you can just look right here in our camera here. We're streaming live here. Yes, we're streaming live. You can actually sit right here if you're comfortable. But it's up to you. It's up to you. Okay. So
Look, I got to sit off.
we don't want you to do
Man
that.
shower.
But,
Man, Sharon got me sitting on the.
oh, I'm sorry. They took up the seats. But please tell us, how long have you been a dad?
12 years.
12 years. And how many, yay, that we can talk about. And how many children do you have, Jeff?
3.
3. Can you tell us how it's been as a, hi babies, they're in the back waving. How has it been for you to support your children with resources or connections here in Stockton?
How easy is it?
How has it been? Can you share with our guests? And you can put your microphone to your mouth as well. There you go.
I guess now it's easier since my wife, worked with you guys. So all I do is, if we need anything, all I do is ask her. She knows everybody. It's like a nice little olive branch. Like, you need one person knows somebody. Somebody knows somebody else. So it's, for me, it's been pretty easy. Anything I needed, she was there to have answers or get the answer for me.
That's awesome. And I think that network of community and connectedness is really what we need in our Black family unit. And I want to tell you thank you for coming out today, and happy Father's Day to you. We have a lovely gift here that we want to give you. And we know you have daughters.
There's nothing in there for me.
But you gonna get your gifts this Sunday, though.
And
It's for the girls.
It's for the girls, but you are a father. Y'all gotta get something. Can we? Do you have
all
a
this
teacher?
stuff.
I love it.
You gonna wear the bracelet? Want to see some socks and wear this?
I want to share something about Jeff.
Yes.
So his wife is Chrissy the doula. I'm just throwing it out there. And all of his babies were breastfed. All of them. All of them. And he supported her tremendously during that time. So
That is wonderful. And we want to thank Chrissy the doula. If you haven't seen her, you can find her on Instagram and Facebook and follow her movement. She also works outside of that community lactation room, and you can find her. Thank you, Jeff. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
Next.
drum roll. No drum roll? Okay, all right. The next number is 2255. 2255. Thank you, brother. The next one is 2257. 2257.
You gotta pick something out for your daddy. Oh, come on, that's right. She's giving it to her daddy. Come on, daddy. Come with her, daddy. Come on, come with your kids. Oh, that's wonderful. What's your name, princess? Inaya. And you're here with your daddy and your brothers?
Yeah.
Okay. How old are your brothers? 7 and 2. Happy Father's Day, Dad. Go ahead and I love it. You're sticking in that microphone.
Thank you so much.
And so are these your only 3 here?
No, I actually have 5 kids.
You have 5. Wonderful. And you're showing up, and so can you tell us what it's been for you to live in Stockton and have the resources that you need, or maybe not the resources, and what are you needing more, you think? What do you think our community needs?
First of all, yeah, I've been here since 89. I was born in Denver Hospital, Stockton, California. I'm a Turner, by the way. For me, it's been thank you, baby. For me, it's been up and down. I've been having several jobs throughout the city. It's been pretty hard for me. You know, I've been struggling for years, but you know, they keep me going every day. You know what I'm saying? As long as I wake up, you know what I mean, it's a change. You know what I'm saying, every day. But on that note, you know, being Stockton, it's hard. You know, it's you know, but you gotta live. You know what I mean? Do the best you can. You know, as far as a father, it's hard out here to be a father out here in Stockton, California. The way things is, the way things going now. But you just gotta be the best man you can be, man. And like I said, take every day. It ain't about us no more. It's about them. So that's how I see it. But I try every day for them. Try to be a better man, a better person, a better father for them. And I also have a wife. She's not here right now. Been with her 15 years.
Come on, Daddy.
Kept me strong. You know what I mean?
There you go.
She the one the reason why I'm here right now. So it's hard, man. But hey, you know, it's beautiful at the same time. So we just got to be here for each other, our family, our kids, and live one day at a time. You know what I mean? Take one day at a stay. That's why I teach my kids. She's doing great in school.
Yeah.
I'm proud of my daughter.
Yeah.
I have a 15-year-old, 14-year-old. They're doing great in school. They're not here right now with their mother. But I keep in touch with them. I'm a father all the way around. Not in the gangbang, none of that. You know, I'm 35 years old. Like I said, I've been out here, man. You know what I'm saying? I've been all around Stockton, so I know what it is, man. I know what it takes. So it's up to me to make them, you know what I mean, better people.
Ashe. Thank you, King. Thank you, King. And King, we want to present you with this gift. Thank you for coming out today. Make sure you take plenty of pictures. You eat as much as you want to. It's your day. It's about you. We love you. We appreciate you as the community. We send love, peace, and blessings. Please connect to all of our resources here. We're going to be doing more for our fathers. Thank you so much. Thank you, Anaya. And we're going to have our last raffle before we go to to our 5-minute power talk.
All right, we got 2245. 2245.
2245. We have a winner. Come on, 2245.
Show host. You have your 5 minute, your 5 minute, another 5 minute, this 5 minute.
All right. So we have a TIH representative getting for her participant.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, I love it, Queen. And I love your pattern. That's actual beautiful kente print. Come on over here. And so I want to give you a microphone and I want you to introduce yourself and tell us what you do.
My name is Aretha Brown, and I'm the family health advocate at Black Infant Health. And I work with the ladies in setting their goals and one-to-one support and whatever is needed. Sometimes it's just needed to come and sit in the house and let them see someone. Sometimes you come to the door because they're not answering the phone, and they are like, I'm so glad someone came to check on me. So that is what I do at the Black Infant Health.
Ashe, thank you, Queen, and you look beautiful today.
Thank you.
Thank you for your work. So next, I am so excited. When I called my brothers in the community who are handling business for our families, who are praying for us, who are pushing, who are educating for us, they answered to the call. I have to my right here, starting here, Mr. Perry Shelton, and he is representing our Stockton Masonic Lodge here. And I am so grateful that you are here. Our next speaker that we have to the right of Mr. Shelton is Mr. Charles Johnson. Listen, and he's going to be talking about co-parenting matters. And he is representing Omega Psi Phi fraternity, and I don't want to ever forget how educated this king is with his MBA and his CSBS. You can call on him, and he's an educator in our community that helps with financial literacy and also support in business development. To my left, we have Mr. Jesse Brown from Mary Magdalene Community Service, and he's going to be talking about why fathers matter. And to the left of Mr. Jesse Brown, we have Mr. Lattimore, Mr. William Lattimore from Primordial House. He's going to be talking about why our fathers are important inside of the home and how to support our fathers. And so we're going to start with Mr. Perry. And so, Mr. Perry, how long have you been here in Stockton? And why has the Stockton Masonic Lodge dedicated their efforts to Black birth equity here in South Stockton?
Yes, thank you, Rachel, for having me, first of all. And Rachel calls me brother, I call her sister, and I really appreciate the opportunity to speak here today. I'm 45 years old, been in Stockton my whole life, save a couple of years. I went away to school in Greenville, Illinois. And when I returned, I was hired by this man to work at Delta Healthcare under his male involvement program, right, to go out and speak to the youth that were incarcerated at CYA and at the county local juvenile detention center. The thing about the Masonic Order is it's a twofold deal here as far as what our goals are. We do want to make good men better. So if you ever are interested in joining our fraternity, to be one, you have to ask one, right? So you got to know one. You know one today. Secondly, we do want to be charitable. We want to be engaged in our community, and we want to help where the help is needed. And so being here is no better place for us to be than to support this effort that you have.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, King. I appreciate you. And we're going to hand it over to our first 5-minute power talker, Mr. Charles Johnson.
Oh, thank you again, Rex, for having me again. Brother, always gonna come through when you ask. Today I am representing Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated, more specifically the Delta Iota chapter here locally in the Stockton, Modesto, and Tracy area. And I first just want to bring up the idea of our Fatherhood Initiative program that we have within our chapter, right? We are very hyper-focused on making sure One, that men are and fathers are recognized, but also that we get to show up in spaces and be who we're supposed to be in those spaces. So being able to teach men how to be better fathers, be able to have those connected conversations with one another, to encourage one another, support one another, and help each other to grow. All of those things are very, very important to us. As it relates to co-parenting, this is a very interesting topic, and some of you may or may not agree with some of the things that I'm about to say. And I'm going to say them anyway, right? The first thing I want to say is that when you're co-parenting out of the house, always remember that as you have had that child, you also have some responsibility to that mother, right? And I know some people would disagree with that philosophy, but it's a reality. And when you show the respect, you show the care, and you show the dignity to the mother, both in and out of the house, it's what that kid then grows up with and develops, right? And he understands, or she understands from that perspective, that no matter what happens, my dad is going to look to my mom, and my mom is going to look to my dad, and we're going to both make sure that they're going to both make sure that I'm growing up the right way. And there's nothing that I can get away with at dad's house or mom's house, irrespective, right? Because they are, even though they're not together, still connected through that child. And I think sometimes when we talk about co-parenting, we forget about that phrase or that phase of it. And that, for me, is a very, very, very important phase of it, right? Making sure that there's some connectivity there. And then there's some responsibility also on the man to own their part of the relationship, right? At some point in time, the child is going to get older, and he's going to start asking questions. He's going to know why you left and all these other things. And I think it's a disservice for both men and women to not be honest about what they did to help make that relationship hard, right? Because when there's truth happening, the kid can then develop a reality about who their father is and who their mother is. And even though they may have separated, they still have joined together to make sure that this child's experience has been somewhat welcomed as much as possible, right?
So let me stop you right there, because you said something really key. The identity of the child. And the identity, we know those first 5 steps in a child's life and growth and development. They're learning, their personality is shaping before the age of 18.
Right.
Can you tell our viewers and in our live studio here, guests, what you've done to support the children around you, or even mentor some of the children, and what have they said that really stood out to you when you say the identity of the child, especially our Black children?
I want to talk about boys in particular, if I may.
Yes, please.
I think it's very important that boys be around men to learn how to become a man, right? And not just you as the father, but introducing him also to other men that can help shape that. In this community that we have right here, my son calls Mr. Lattimore either Sensei Lattimore or Uncle Lattimore. My children call Perry Uncle Perry. And that's just how it is, right? Because we kind of developed that relationship. But what they've also learned is how to have relationships with other men. So they stand straight. They talk with their chest up. They shake your hands and look at you in the eye. And equally my daughter, right? Because I have a daughter. I have a few daughters. I have 2 bonus daughters and 1 biological daughter that I love the same. But all of them respect them collectively. And they know how a man should be around them. So they're not subject to a lot of things that they would see in the streets. They're not responding to those things because they know what men are supposed to look like. They know what a father is supposed to look like. They know how relationships are supposed to develop. So when they see anything contrary to that, they know automatically that that's not right. And I think that's huge.
That's huge, because in our historical context, and again, we are still seeing the unwavering delays of Jim Crow and also the historical savagery of slavery. And when our Black men were plucked out of their families, they were broken. A lot of you all don't know, they had a thing called buck breaking. It broke the identity of the Black man. And there were even policies that were put in place, even through our human service agency, that broke that ability to co-parent. And I'm going to speak it like it is. I know it's really hard sometimes for some of our viewers to hear these things, but these are the reality that our black men are faced with. When you have to, and they sent out a whole documentary on hiding the black man out of the social worker's face in order to make sure that they can keep their benefits. And if you don't think I'm telling the truth, there's so many YouTube videos of that documentary. And it was a bias that broke down the black family unit. And even if we didn't decide to stay with our black men, there were policies in place that prevented that co-parenting. And how do we reverse that, Charles, in this moment in time now of advocacy?
Well, I want to dispel one myth, right? That black fathers are not in their child's lives. We see that, there's a lot of narratives out there, but the reality is that there are many black fathers out there that are supporting their kids. First, I want to say that. Secondly, when it comes to just that co-parenting aspect of it, I think it's really, well, here's the thing, right? A child needs both. He won't develop properly if he doesn't have both sides of that coin. Does that make sense to everyone? And I think that that's so important. He has to have the feminine and he has to have the masculine. And one without the other is a disservice to the child.
Wow.
Right? And we don't talk about that enough. But that's really the importance of co-parenting, is that they get to have both elements. They get to have the nurturing, but they also get to have the discipline. They also get to have the structure. They also get to learn the know-how of doing a thing by themselves. And since Lattimore, we always talk about it a lot. I hope I'm not stealing your thunder. But one of the things that we talk about, like when it comes to, especially in a household with a man and a woman, a kid would come and say, hey, my bike is broken, right? Mom will go out there and try to help and fix it for the kid. Whereas the dad will sit there and say, okay, now go pick up this tool and turn it this way. And then do this, and then do that, and then do this, and then do that, right? And so both things are important, though, right? Because the child needs to have that nurturing. Without that, he becomes a cold individual, right? He doesn't know how to love. He doesn't know how to communicate with his emotions. He's not effective in doing so. And equally, if he doesn't have a male in his life, sometimes the logic is skipped, right? He's too emotional, right? And so when we look at people, and they talk about this a lot in the prison system, that a lot of the young men that are in the prison system are in there because they made emotional decisions, right? They reacted instead of thinking about what they were going to do and the impact of it before they actually did it. And so when we're talking about that co-parenting and that networking with one another, that's where that breeds importance. And I think it's also not just co-parenting, but community parenting is something that we lost. I hope that at some point we're going to speak about.
Well, we're going to speak on it, especially in our rites of passage. And I just want to let our guests know as well that anytime that you want to chime in here, this is a podcast. You can speak openly about the issues because it's coming from lived experiences. And listen, again, if this tent flies away, I just want you to know I love you. We are now getting the Delta breeze coming in here. So stand by here. Charles, I want to thank you for your wisdom and bringing it into this space. And I'm going to save the question on how our women need to show up. I'm going to save it for someone else. I don't want to get my feelings hurt right now. I know as a black woman, sometimes it's hard for us to take on our femininity and take on the role of not always being the provider and the person that takes control in the family household. A lot of because of the trauma, and I'm just going to talk about it, because of the trauma, we have learned how to survive in our maternal instincts. And sometimes that prevents us from showing up and listening and supporting our men. And I'm going to say it as gentle as that. I don't need these wisdom keepers to tell me so. We're going to jump to Mr. Jesse Brown here. Mr. Jesse Brown, you've been working with Mary Magdalene now for how long?
About 5 months.
Okay, and so tell us why fathers matter. You're doing a lot of work there. Tell us why you're seeing in connection to some of the issues, the disenfranchisement, the underserved and the under-resourced of what Black men go through. Can you tell us why they matter?
Yeah, they absolutely matter to outcomes of families, right? When fathers are involved, there's a lot of different statistical data that supports healthier habits for the children. Children are tend to be more responsible. They do better in school when fathers are around. They are far less likely to drop out of school or to wind up in the prison or the judicial system when father is present and around. So fathers matter from the very first developmental stages of a child's life, and the more that that father is invested and involved throughout those developmental stages and assisting and aiding with that child growth, it helps the child to develop, as brother talked about and touched on, identity and also a maturity that's necessary for them to move into those adult stages and phases of life. I kind of wanted to piggyback on something that he said when he was talking about the co-parenting, and one of the main things that I speak to men about when discussing the co-parenting is partnership. Right? It's a partnership, and the best partnerships work when there's an equality in it. Right? And it requires constant communication and conversation and a willingness to even have some tough conversations in order to maintain that partnership, right? So it's just so essential. And one other thing that he talked about was relationship to the child. And one of the things that I always tell men is once you have a child, you guys are family. Right? You and that mom, you're a family.
We're a family.
Yeah, whether you live inside the home or not, you still
whether I don't like them,
are a family.
I have to, so we share blood.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Right? So just because you have an argument with family don't make them not family no more. Just because I have a disagreement with family, it doesn't mean that they're suddenly not family anymore. Right? And so in the midst of that, we're also teaching our child how to reconcile differences, right? There's so many different things that the child is learning from that relationship dynamic. And then another thing we always stress is like that boyhood to manhood, because whatever issues that a father is facing, they didn't start when he became a father. Right? They started before that. Somewhere along the line, that father was devalued in some way. And sometimes, in some instances, it could have even been in that single parent situation where he was devalued by the mother.
Or over empowered by the mother. Because a lot of times mothers, out of their ability to try to serve as that maternal protection, we can sometimes enmesh, and I'm going to say it, enmesh the roles and the responsibility onto that child.
Absolutely.
And sometimes we can of a parentified stance that we empower that child. And so sometimes our men are grown into taking on responsibility that they didn't have that time to be a child.
Yeah.
And why is that important in those child development steps?
Brother talked about, right, how a boy needs to be around the man. One of the things when you discuss, right, the institution of slavery and the institution of racism and the way that it operated is there used to be rituals. There were boyhood rituals where the boy would go away with other men as a boy, but he would return a man after going through those rituals. And in our community, because of the disconnect, those rituals have been lost, right? And so it's important to, as Brother Charles touched on, right, to not only have a man, but a community of men. Because there's a community of men that's going to surround you, that's going to come alongside you, that's going to come behind you, that's going to teach you all of those different elements and rituals that it's required to be a man. And that's just such an important part for our fathers that gets missed. And so, right, if we don't have healthy men, we're not going to have healthy fathers. Right? If we don't have healthy fathers, we're not going to have healthy families.
Okay.
And if we don't have healthy families, we're not going to have a healthy community. Right? And that's so much of where we are right now is the fatherhood role is incredibly important, but we have to also make the investment and involvement in men.
So let me tell you, you're saying we're making the investment involvement of men, but our men are shut down. They're not opening up. How do we talk about the emotional wellness? Remember, this is still a resource out here in this baby shower. We're talking about community health workers. We're talking about men's mental health.
Yes.
How do we emotionally support and maintain space for our men in this moment in time?
Well, you said the word trauma, right? And a lot of men's emotional responses, including the shutdown, are results of unaddressed trauma, right? And so first we have to open the door and open room and make place for those conversations to happen. But again, it's important for women to partner in those conversations, but those conversations where the most vulnerability and transparency will take place is when those conversations are taken among men. And so as men in positions of leadership or positions of influence, or when we are mentors, we have to open the door with our men for those conversations. And we may have to sit in with them at a therapy session, right? In order to get them to open up and feel vulnerable enough to really share those things, right? One of the things, we did a workshop over the weekend and we were talking to men about trauma triggers. Like, and recognizing in my own life that loud volume was a trauma trigger for me. Because there was so much loud arguing in my house that when people start to elevate their voices, that's where my shutdown was. And so then as I'm raising my daughter and her voice starts to get loud, I'm feeling like the need to leave the house. And I couldn't figure out why. I'm like, she's a toddler. Why am I so upset by this? But I had to recognize that that became a trauma trigger in my life. And to address it.
Come on, you speaking it. You speaking it.
Right? And so when we open up those conversations and we allow men to have a safe place to be vulnerable and say, yeah, man, I grew up around a lot of argument. So when I hear loud voices, and so it helped me to better communicate with my wife because there was a level of volume, even if it was exciting. It doesn't even have to be negative. But once she exceeded that level of volume, my ears start to tune out. And I start to feel a heightened sense of need to protect myself.
Right.
Right.
To protect, and that's your trauma response.
Yeah, because it was a trauma trigger.
And a lot of people don't understand when that shutdown happens, communication barriers are in place.
Can I?
Yes, please.
And this is something that we haven't discussed here, but I think it's equally important, right? And it's the reinitiation of eldership in our community. Right? And that's a part of it that is extremely missed nowadays. When we talk about generation after generation after generation that don't have direction, it's because of lack of eldership.
So speak to the ones that have that eldership and speak to it from the frame of what the Black experience is, because again, our Black families and units have been broken down.
Well, we're both products of it. So both of us came up in the era of rites of passage, and we had experiences with men who taught us and showed us how to respect elders, and elders gave us information that taught us how to walk through life with a level of decency that was able to be maintained. And I can say with confidence, I know between the two of us, we know at least 5 to 10 brothers that went through the Rites of Passage program. And all of those brothers who went through that program, they are all professionals.
Wow.
They are all fathers who raise their children.
Testament.
They are all men who are respectable in the community. They are all men who have contributed to their community. And they're also all men who get back to their community.
Ashe.
Right? But there's a line there. And I think we don't have that as much. And when we begin to get back to that sense of, hey, we need our elders, and our elders need us too, right? Because we teach our elders how to live in today's society.
Ashe.
But our elders teach us how to live a long life. You know, and I think both of those things are important. And so, to your point, though, right? You know, there's some things that are missing. And I hear the young people a lot when they talk about it. They talk about it from feel free to chime in. They talk about it from a place of, well, you know, you ain't never been here for us, so why are we going to listen to you? right? And so we got to get back. We got to get back in. We have to lead being humble and not thinking that we know everything, because we don't, right? We don't know all of their traumas and their triggers and the things that they're going through today. We haven't had those same experiences. And we can grow from that.
And I'll just say this to add on to the engaging of the youth, the engaging of younger fathers, younger men, as far as how do we advocate for those to be vulnerable, right? To accept the process of therapy. Brother Charles just made a great example of that process, right? One, we do have to become more vulnerable with the young men, because they're not going to open up to us unless they truly believe you have stake in their
There it is.
livelihood, right? And to your point, if we're not holding their hands figuratively and sometimes literally,
Yes.
and walking them through these processes of how to go through these scenarios in life where you feel like the world is against you and your back is against the wall, and the only thing that you are going to do is latch out, fight or flight, right? And too many of our brothers, our younger brothers, are in fight mode.
They're in fight mode.
And it's because of the trauma, right? And so just as an individual, you know, as a person that is blessed to have been raised by my father, right, and by a community of men, we were shown, nah, you don't respond that way. You sit and deal with what you're feeling.
Yeah.
And when you're ready to talk, then you come back and talk, right? And that's huge.
That is huge. That's huge. And having that space to acknowledge. And I want to take pause because I really want to ask for forgiveness. I have forgotten the ways of the elders and what they taught me. And I was supposed to ask our elder, could we start? And correct. And he's going to get me. But I am going to introduce Mr. William Lattimore. He's the executive director of Primordial House here in Stockton, California. He is a sensei and also a leader and mentor for many, many years here in Stockton. He looks just as young as our younger brothers, but he has mentored most of these kings up here. And I'm going to let him tell his age and introduce himself in any way he wants to. Because I always say that because the way he eats, the way he takes care of himself, he's a beautiful black man, and black don't crack on Mr. William Lattimore. Let's go.
Can I say one thing just real quick before you start? Because these two brothers went through his Rites of Passage program, and the program that I'm currently a part of, I'm standing on the back of this giant too, because he laid the groundwork for the program that I'm now a part of as well. So he's had a direct impact on every one of us up here.
And so, my elder, do you forgive me for not asking for your permission first?
Yes, because I was going to say that Mr. What's his name?
Terrence West.
No, not Terrence West. The older gentleman, him and his wife.
Yes. Okay.
Oh, that Mr. Stebbins.
Yes, Mr. Stebbins. Yeah, left.
Okay.
So, yes. We should address our elders. We need to, when we get in a subject like this, when we talk about community, when we talk about cultural stuff, we need to ask permission from our elders in the beginning. If they say no, then stop.
And I want my elder to make sure that your wisdom is flowing to our community that's streaming on the mic. And I really want you to project your words, because the wisdom that you have is needed. And so what channel are you projecting from right now, Wisdom Keeper?
5.
Okay, channel 5. Thank you to my backstage attendees. So, Mr. William Lattimore, the importance of rites of passage for our young men, in bringing it back to our voices matter. What within our rites of passage supports the elevation of our men's voices to advocate for our women, for their families, for resources, for their services within their health plan management, care programs. You know, our mothers are passing away, our babies are passing away, but we don't talk about the impact it's having on our fathers. And our fathers grieve those things as well. So I would like for you to introduce yourself in any way that you would like. tell us a little bit about your experiences and also a reply to what that call of action, that question was.
Thank you very, very much. Gentlemen, I say thank you for acknowledging some of the steps I have taken in life. Rites of passage is both for male and female. There's actually more rites passage process for women than there is for men. Because the women in the community is I don't want to say backbone because I don't want to give you the wrong idea, but the women are the ones who sustain the entire family. She's the reason why Earth is called Mother. You plant a seed in the ground here, and everything grows. The trees grow, the plants grow, the fruits and that kind of stuff grows. You plant a seed in that woman, she bears you a child. You buy her, get her the groceries, she makes you a meal. She turns your home into a house. All those kinds of things. So without her, there'll be no reason for us to be here at all. So rites of passage is a process, not a program. This is what we get wrong in the community. It's a program. It's not. It's a process from family to community. It teaches boys how to become men, and it teaches girls how to become women. It's a twofold thing. It's not one. So these two brothers was part of the program when they were young. So I've been at this since. Look, I'm only 26 years old. I just want y'all to know. Just take those two numbers and turn them around. I started Rites of Passage in 1989. I started working with the youth in 1982. And then I left and went to the military and came back in 89 and continued this whole process.
Thank you for your service.
Yes. So what I've learned is that what Charles has mentioned about the elders is key, because the child comes, and then once the child turns into a man, there's one thing nobody has mentioned up here on this panel just now. So once a child turns into a man or a woman, the next step is to become a husband or a wife. We never talk about that in the book. Never talk about that in the book.
It's not expected of our women, right? Our women are hypersexualized. They're viewed as a hypersexual object. And we don't talk about that rites of passage and that expectation from our men. And our men really truly believe that their person sometime is the only contributing factor that we're interested in.
A lot of our men are professional teenagers.
Well,
and ladies, I don't want no chairs thrown at me. I don't want no shoes and nothing thrown at me. It's your fault. Say it straight. It's your fault. Because, and a lot of you don't even know that you've been contributing to this madness in the community. One of you guys mentioned about jail. This is now a rite of passage to go to jail. That becomes your manhood. If we don't allow these young men to work with their own children, they can't grow up healthy. They can't grow up with a balance. I believe it was Mr. Johnson who said that you have to have that balance with the two. It is a key. It is must. When I first started the women's program, come on, help me out with the name of it because it was way back. Images. So when we started doing that, everybody talked about a family, but they put a woman up and the child, and never put up the men. That's not a family. That's a dysfunctional family. And if you do it oppositely, and you put the man up and his children, that's still dysfunctional because it's still out of balance. We have to be in balance. If you notice, when we go to get grants and things, one year it's about women and children, and then next year we talk about men, and then the next year we talk about women.
So you bring up a valid point. And again, this is where policy and advocacy comes into play here. As advocates, all of you all are seeing the disparities, but you're also seeing the lack of resources sometimes for our men. It's time now that we speak up. We speak up and we are heard in a way that is organized, and it supports the disenfranchisement that was given to us, not something that we wanted, but given to us because we were seen as less than. So how are you all right now doing that? Mr. Lattimore, how are you doing that in your work when you're working with these young people? How are you growing these leaders, right? You're a grower and a nurturer. You've been a father to many. How have you instilled in many of these leaders up here on how to advocate and show up and tell the truth?
They're doing it right here, right in front of me. It's not me who's doing it, because I have elders who are helping me out. So it trickles down through the community. As we talk about Mr. Ellis, as we talking about some of the other men that was out there helping us out. Cedric. So that kind of stuff. So we were the ones who impacted them. They was the one who impacted me, behind me. So there's men I still talk to who are now in their late 70s and their 80s who I talk to one-on-one about what I should do as a younger elder. I'm learning how to become an elder. I've never been this age before. I'm learning about it.
Right.
So now I got a grandson who's 6, 7 years old who call me grandpa. No, that's not my name.
That's not your You've earned it though. You've earned it.
But our job, their job now,
yes,
all three of these, their job now is to help teach my grandson.
Okay.
But I met a young man who says, I don't want any other men to work with my children.
Oh, no.
So it took him a while, and he understood what I was trying to get across to him. Now he's recruiting for me for my martial arts class to bring other kids into the program and other dads to the program.
And I love how you brought up your martial arts program. I want you to plug yourself for a moment for our streaming families and those families that are here live in the studio here. Where can they find a mentorship like yourself or a martial arts, and why martial arts? Why is it superior to discipline and connectedness to the African arts?
Martial arts was originated in Africa. It was called Bantu. It wasn't called martial arts. They used it to help train the young men how to be men, how to take care of their village, and how to take care of their families. It's not to teach you how to fight and beat somebody else. It's to teach you how to be humble with yourself and to be have discipline. So discipline comes from the word disciplice, which means to teach or to guide. That's all it means. When we take the discipline, pull out that belt. You remember Pops pulled that belt out and start tanning your butt. That's discipline. No, that's not. So we have to look into our history. What is called St. Proof. Look back to go forward.
Look back
that means we have to rely on our elders and our ancestors as to what they taught. Bring that back forward.
And why is that important to where we're going now? Remembering that we're here, supporting that our voices be heard in healthcare, and our voices be heard also when we're advocating for our spouses, our partners who are giving birth. I want to open up to the studio audience here that are live to use the microphone here. And you're more than welcome to open up a question to engage this panel, because this panel, we don't get to see this all the time. We don't get to have this all the time. So there are some mothers, there are some women in the audience that may have a question for our elders or even young men, and I want to go ahead and give this time to open up. But as you all are gathering your questions, and hopefully you can engage in a very good way for our streamers and our viewers, thinking about perinatal health and how oftentimes we're not brought into the fold when we're talking about our pregnancy together. And it's a pregnancy together. How are we supporting our mothers? How are we showing up? What should we be saying while we're in the hospital rooms, while we're in the clinic rooms? Should we be there? That's controversial for some people, for some cultures.
Not at all. So one of the things that I was thinking is we've minimized the role of a man providing to only finances.
Well,
right.
Give me some money.
See, right, the role of a man is not only to provide financially, right? He talked about it. It was designed to protect the family. It was designed to provide emotionally. It was designed to provide spiritually, right? It was to provide structure for the children and for the family, how the household is going to be constructed and how the household is going to manage itself, right? There were so many different things that were supposed to be provided, and now it's been minimized to just finance. And so for a man, especially again, that can be something that can be devalued, right? Because now if I happen to be unemployed, how do I provide for my family?
So how are we dealing with that in policy and advocacy? Because, you know, it's very intentional on who we allow to connect with our family members that are going to bring resources. But we do have a Department of Child Support here.
Yes.
And I'm going to go
they
there.
did what?
Right.
Nothing, because the culture of that
institution
is not the same culture in the streets. It's not the same culture in our families. So they're not connected to one another. Our community says one thing, especially as black people, but HSA and other institutions or something says something totally different. In 1943, one of the presidents was asked, what is the most dangerous thing facing facing America? He looked in the camera and said, the unity of black people. Yeah. They don't want us to come together. When I said it was the women's fault, I'm not saying it's your fault. You're just being used as a tool. They took the industry and started targeting black families, and the number one target in the black family was not the black woman, it was the black man.
It's the black man.
Kill him off, minimize him, and we can control the family. And that's what they've been doing to us since coming out of slavery.
And so we see a lot of that, and this is what we talk about when it comes to policies and systematic racism and implicit bias and the decision making of our men is taking away their voices to be present. And you know, we have to be careful even when how we speak sometimes on these issues, because first of all, a lot of people don't believe it's still happening. A lot of people don't believe that it's systematic racism that's still happening, and why we've been disenfranchised now, past Jim Crow now for almost 100 years. It's been almost 100 years, and it's still going on. So those practices, if you're a service provider, if you are an advocate in any of these systems, you have to understand the history. You have to understand the mistrust of individuals who you serve, because they're not going to open up. They're not going to divulge and connect with you, even though you're an advocate. And once you acknowledge that, we can bring that into the fold. Were you going to say something? It's moving. I told you. So, ancestors, they talking about you talking now.
So I had a young man who went off to college. He happened to be Hispanic. He goes off to college and he started working for them. I think he was working with Perry at the time because they were working with African American boys and he was working with Hispanic boys. He forgot his own culture. He forgot that when you come to a Mexican family, you go to the father first. So I had to teach him, this is what you got to do. But when you go to a black family, it's okay to go to the mama. Because historically, we were put in the background because we were looked upon as a threat to everything and everybody around us. So our women came out to protect us as men and boys. But he forgot his own culture. And today, we at a point where HSA and other agencies don't know our culture. And then most of the healthcare providers don't understand the culture either, so they can't connect with us. And we have to get to a point where we're beginning to connect with each other. We need to help each other, work with each other, go back to what Charles was saying earlier. I'm going to say it like this, each one teach one. We need to teach each other. We need to go back to community raising. We're not doing that anymore.
We're not doing that.
I got my butt whooped at school. Then I got home, my neighbor whooped me. Then I got to the house, my mama whooped me.
Okay, but listen, how is that not child abuse? Because we do have different viewers that are looking and listening. So, Charles, I want to pass this over to you.
Yeah, So I think there's a difference, right? Discipline without uh, understanding becomes abuse, right?
Uh-oh, say it one more time for the ones in the back. Say it real loud.
Discipline without understanding becomes abuse.
Mm.
Like the kid doesn't understand why he's being disciplined. It doesn't matter what the discipline is if you go to your room, right? Without an understanding of why you're going to your room and the discussion that's being had as to what has transpired and then how are you going to do better, then it becomes abuse. Right. It could be emotional, it could be physical, it could be all of these different things. And I think we forget that. So when we're talking about discipline, the most impactful thing you can do is to help a kid understand why he is being disciplined in hopes that he will make a different decision. One of the things that I teach my kids, and I say this all the time, I say, hey, look, bro, you got one opportunity to make a mistake. After that, it becomes a choice. So the first time you do it, we'll have a talk about it. There might be some small repercussions, but after that, it's a choice. And now you're choosing a lifestyle that's counterintuitive to what I want you to do in my house. So we have to make some decisions, right? In terms of how you're going to behave and how I'm going to respond, right? And so that's how we deal with it. And so they understand, like, I have the opportunity, I have the freedom to mess up. But I don't have the freedom to make a choice to be messed up. Not in Dad's house, right? And there's a very distinct difference there for them. Because they don't do any, they will push it right to the line. And then they'd be like, oh yeah, now this might be the one. I'm not gonna do that. And then there's other things, right, where they just genuinely don't know. And then they learn. And then my question to them, day, every minute, every hour that they experience life is an opportunity for them to learn, to grow, and to develop, right? And they need to take those lessons with them.
When they become a teenager, they lose their mind.
Yeah.
And if I may add,
yes, please.
Yes.
Yes.
The word discipline, I think traditionally we have used it as interchangeable with punishment, right? But what we're really talking about is punishment correction, right? A corrective action, right? The way that Charles just explained how he communicates with his kids is, to me, an essential component of protecting your kids, right? Protecting your family. When we talk about the guidelines of fatherhood and being raised by a boomer, it was provide, protect, lead. But protecting wasn't about fending off a physical threat, right? Protecting was about earning the trust of those under your cover. So how do I earn the trust of my children if I'm just whooping them every time there's a problem? You can't. Right? So now, I'm guilty of it because I come from the generation to where when you act out of line, that's a quick and swift corrective punishment.
Yes.
Right? And when my children were young, I found myself responding that way. And then I found myself looking at them with total fear, right? And despair. It's like, why is he doing this to me? And it made sense to pivot fast and begin to understand what emotions I had to check, right? So that my children in their childhood years and in their adolescent years and now they're young adults, 19-year-old son, 17-year-old son, we have these discussions because the last thing you want is for them to be running from it with information.
And that's that emotional wellness piece. And you know, this conversation can go on and on. I am enjoying all of you. I have one more speaker that I have to get up here, and I want to tell you thank you. We have given these shirts, and I would like for you all to hold them up. Please wear them with pride. These shirts represent the love that we have for you. On the back, you see that our partnerships and also your voices matter. And on the sleeve here is the Reinvent South Stockton Blackbird Equity Initiative. And here with this shirt here is the noble element, and it means father and being present. And so I want to thank you all for coming today, dedicating your time. this entire time. We can clap it up, y'all. Thank you. The wisdom that was shown and given on this stage is unforgettable. We can't get it back, and I'm glad that it's being streamed to the ones that couldn't be here today. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
We need to continue this as we go along in the community.
Yes, thank you for having us.
We'll continue with our series of baby showers coming to you live from the Black Birth Equity Initiative of Reinvent South Stockton Coalition. As I'm welcoming our next guest, Miss Vina Ford. She is a specialist in the healthcare agency of Health Plan of San Joaquin, and also a specialist on talking about how you need to ask for your Medi-Cal benefits. Listen, a lot of you don't know about your Medi-Cal benefits and how important it is to get your Medi-Cal benefits and to get the afforded benefits for you and your families. You're able to speak up and advocate and support. And so as we welcome Ms. Vina Ford, she can tell us a little bit about how we support those initiatives. Welcome, welcome. And Ms. Vina Ford, before we get started, I have two very special fathers that are in the audience that I would like to acknowledge. My brother, Reginald Thompson II, I would like for him to come up in the frame if it's okay. And also Jesus Andrade. Jesus is a longtime advocate here in the city of Stockton and South Stockton native. And I'm asking that both of them come in the frame so we can acknowledge them and let them have some words as we prepare to have our last speaking engagement here on the Prune Tree Podcast. Go ahead and come on up here and sit here on the frame. Yes. Thank you. Please join us. We're live here on the Prune Tree Podcast, and I also acknowledge your wife and your daughter that's here advocating and supporting. Come out and support individuals that has supported Reinvent South Stockton Coalition, and as a founder of Reinvent South Stockton Coalition. Thank you, Jesus, for joining us.
Thank you for inviting me. Am I on? Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you so much for being here.
I'm happy to be here.
Yes, and happy Father's
Oh, thank
Day.
you. Thank you.
And you're looking good and you're looking rich. I like that.
It's post-politics, so it's good for the skin.
It's good for the
It's good for the skin. That's what it is.
Yes, and we love our brown pride in here. We also got that black pride in the family. And so tell us how you're supporting our fathers in business and trying to bring commerce back to Stockton, California and the greater San Joaquin.
Yeah, so since running for mayor, before running for mayor, and actually when I was on the city council, we had this idea of launching a community development corporation. So it's CDC for short. I'm sure people out there who are in the economic space have heard of this acronym, CDC, CDFI, COTs, it's the C's. And the reason why we did that, or started talking about that when I was in the council, is because there was money from the federal government, from national foundations and large philanthropic organizations that were looking to fund economic initiatives in Stockton, particularly outside of housing. So we have great housing developers in the area, but what we didn't have were organizations that place-based development, right? Like commercial redevelopment, commercial corridor, commercial district, business incubation, loans for businesses, and education for small businesses, and building ecosystems. And so we're like, we have to build this organization. So fast forward, here we are. The organization has officially launched.
Shay, congratulations.
Thank you. It was a big milestone.
Yes.
The name of the organization is New Joaquin. So it's a play on San Joaquin Valley, it's a play on San Joaquin County, but it's new. and it's a CDC, and the website is milwaukeecdc.com. First project we want to tackle, or why we really are moving fast, is because we want to bring spaces. We want to help incubate food. One thing you know about Stockton is our street food is top notch. I'd put up our street food against any street food.
There it is.
And so for me, it's how we're going to chop on the street.
Most of them are by people of color who have it's here you. This is my baby brother, everybody. He was a well-known football player for Franklin High School. We grew up off of Farmington and Mariposa on the south side. They, consider that still Nightingale territory. And oh my, okay, we lost our microphone. Yeah, we lost our microphone. Stand by. Stand by. Okay. So my crew is saying to keep talking, so I'm going to talk as loud as we can. But we're thankful for the ancestral winds that are coming in off of this delta. If you don't know that this park actually has a stream that runs back to the delta, and so we get those delta winds coming through here, and so we are so fortunate to keep having this podcast. But Reggie, I just want to acknowledge you for being the father that you are. You have two beautiful children. You're very present. What can you say to our audience here on how we can be present and what you're needing in this present moment in support from resources, from systems? What do you need to say to those that handle our Black men?
At the end of the day, individuals, they have to open their mouths. They have to be willing to, like they said earlier, be vulnerable to get help. Sometimes I think as fathers in general, we believe ourselves to be Superman. But in actuality, we still, we need help time to time. So I think the biggest thing is that. Another thing is also as being a father, and, my children are young, so having other individuals, I would say OGs in my life that, told me, they always told me, sometimes it's not all about money, it's all about being there for your kids, being there as much as you can. So I think those are some of the basic things that kind of just lead you to that point.
And right now, if you don't mind me saying, you're co-parenting. What can you tell other parents who are co-parenting? How do you maintain that connectedness? What's the importance as being a father and being present?
Respect from both parties. because at the end of the day, it's not about you; it's about the children. They're number one, and like my children, I always say, it's Team Aiden and Team Raiden. So at the end of the day, that's what we're here for. We're here to be on one accord, because at the end of the day, I think a lot of sometimes individuals will say, once my kid is 18 and it's done, but that's not the reality of it, right? Because at the end of the day, your kids are going to get older. They might have children of their own, so that is something, that a relationship that you have to keep on working on, keep on trying to establish that, trying to learn and communicate, and also what's the word? Sorry. Being able to compromise.
Yes.
Compromise is the biggest thing. To compromise with the other parent, even if you are in a relationship, there are some things that one individual might like and they might not like, but you have to come to that middle ground for the kids.
I want to tell you, I appreciate both of you all. Growing up with both of you all, you are like a brother to me, Jesus. I love you, Reggie. We have a nickname that I will not say on air here, that we've called him for many, many years, but he is my little brother, and I do love you, and thank you for showing up and connecting with our community today. Ashe. All right. And so, thank you. You can clap it up. Our next, but not least, speaker of the day has certainly been an advocate in our community. She does not hail originally from South Stockton or even Stockton, but has been moving waves on change on how we view Medi-Cal and how we view our health resources. And so, Miss Vina Ford, thank you and welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. Can you hear me? Yeah. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. So, what do we need to know about our medical benefits, and how do we advocate and support for our mothers and our families?
Oh wow. Back in the day when Medicaid came out in the 50s, the war on poverty, it really was about focusing on the mother and really making sure that mothers had health and that their babies were healthy. And then it got tied into all the benefits, and then you got TANF and you got this. And unfortunately, the passing of the Affordable Care Act really opened up the opportunities for people who need health care to get it, and to be able to get it at an affordable price. Now I know some of us who actually have jobs that give us health care, it's still not quite affordable. But for those who can't afford a high bill of health insurance or what have you, always have the opportunity to apply for, here in California, Medi-Cal or countrywide Medicaid, and also to the exchanges. So a lot of times people think that, oh, I don't make the money to apply for Medi-Cal. There's also the opportunity to go on to the state exchange and see if you can get a low cost, almost no cost, in many cases, very no cost.
Really?
Yes, ma'am.
So I didn't know that. And so when you say the state exchange, is that like a website they can follow?
It is. It's healthcareoptions.gov.
Healthcareoptions.gov.
I have my cheat notes with me.
Okay, yes, please bring your cheat notes, because we need all of the resources. The way the health plan's insurance is coming out of my check, listen, you want to throw the whole check back.
So I'm actually incorrect. Benefitscal.com.
Okay, benefitscal.
Or Covered California. You see the commercials with people with no faces, and they're like, oh, come and get your Medicaid, come and get your Medi-Cal. Benefits.cal will not only first try to qualify you for Medi-Cal, but then if you don't qualify for Medi-Cal, say, oftentimes our brothers and sisters who would qualify 1 year may make $5 too much, and it would disqualify them. 1 day of overtime, or a really long Christmas season with a lot of overtime.
Right, and we do that. Our mothers,
yeah, can kill ourselves. Yeah, or our fathers who are out and working in construction and doing a lot of time. Just a few dollars can disqualify you, but there is the exchange at covercalifornia.com. And Cover California is a subsidized exchange where the state subsidizes the health insurance for those who qualify. So where Medi-Cal goes up to about 138% of the federal poverty level, and I'm not going to mention what that is because it's low.
It's low.
Cover California will extend that up to almost the median income. So, you know, where people are spending a lot of money, $200, $300, $400 a paycheck, not a month, a paycheck to cover their families, you can also go and qualify and see if you qualify for these. The great thing also is that, say parents have a job, and parents have a job that gives them health insurance, but you put all 5 of your children and your wife or on there, and you're like, well, what am I working for?
Exactly. Throw the check back.
Right. So for children, that goes up. And so while you may have employer insurance, your children can qualify for Medi-Cal. And they can go to the same and those kinds of things. So there's so much more opportunity since the Affordable Care Act. And every year it expands. We're now covering children who are in foster care at 100%. There are, this year, one of the great things this year is that Medi-Cal now covers those who. So in the past, our tias, our abuelitas, our grandmamas from other countries or other spaces would come to America and not have health insurance and get super sick and then have to go on emergency Medi-Cal or emergency Medicaid or not have anything at all. And unfortunately, the demise happens. They now qualify.
They now qualify.
They now qualify.
And for you ones that are mad, I'm going to say it because Miss Vina can't. Stay mad. It's a thing to not be able to care for your medical needs. It's the most inhumane. I'm going to say that again. I'm a social worker. You can call me. We can talk about it. So we're needing Medi-Cal for all because that impedes on us as a community when we're not healthy as a community.
Absolutely. And the great thing about Medi-Cal is that you have choice, right? So, you know, it used to be you go to the state and they handle it. Now you have choices. There's like many plans in your community. You can choose which plans, which doctors you want to have.
Yes.
People are now able to do so much more with, I call it social health care than private health care versus, and you know, so that social health care, oftentimes they'll say the insurance is better than mine. Right. So, you know, and they get just great resources and support. Medi-Cal has now expanded to offer, we talked about CHWs earlier.
Yes,
the community health workers. Yeah. So now every Medi-Cal member has the opportunity to get a CHW, get a community health worker to help them navigate the social services space, to help them navigate the community, to help them navigate their health care within their clinic. Someone that looks like you or me or that has the same experiences as you,
yes.
Lived experience. Now, I don't have children, so I would be a horrible CHW for someone pregnant.
Right.
However, connecting that person.
So how do we request that? I heard you say we can have community health workers now. They have extended our medical insurance to
call your plan.
Call our plan. So that 1-800 health plan or HealthNet or Kaiser Permanente actually covers Medi-Cal patients to support their needs with the community health worker. Now, what can I call my community health worker to do?
Oh, wow. You can call them to do a lot of things. Since we're talking maternal health, you got a question out here. I see you.
Yeah, we have a question from the audience. with our stage crew here, and so we're gonna cue up that microphone.
Okay, great. But what you can do with a CHW is you can have someone go with you to your doctor's appointments and help you navigate that conversation. If you're having housing trouble, they can help connect you to housing. If you're having food trouble, right? You know, we talked about groceries.
We did
and
talk
how
about groceries.
expensive they are.
Yeah.
But really connecting people to get food so that there is not a want not, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there's so much, and then you know if you have say substance abuse or what have you,
Okay.
or substance use troubles, you can get a CHW who's lived that same experience and walked with you that path.
So you're telling me a CHW is basically all of my needs, and we were talking about earlier social determinants of health. The need to support all of the what we call Maslow hierarchy of need, right? And so we talk about that food, that shelter security, the food security that we're needing within our communities. This helps also our elders, because a lot of our elders are also the caretakers of our babies as well.
Yes, that it also helps the elders if your children say are being cared for by a parent or what have you. That CHW can support them as well. And then also another really great thing in a couple of years, Medi-Cal plans are going to be required to also take on Medicare.
Wow.
And so elders who qualify for both Medicare and Medi-Cal will now be able to coordinate. So they don't have to go to one place for one thing and another place for another. They'll be able to coordinate, have one physician, care coordinated all in one space, won't have to pay a check here to get a reimbursement there. And so, you know, while it took a while, right? ACA was passed in 2010. It kind of kicked up in 2015.
Right.
And we here in 2025. It took a while because there's a lot of policy undoing and redoing that needed to happen at the state's level, you know, in about 5 years.
I'm watching you.
Thank you,
Davina.
Thank you, ancestors. Y'all know.
There you go with this win, because it was hot out here.
In about 5 years, you're gonna have people who will be much more healthy.
Yes.
Much more connected.
Yes.
Have much more opportunities. So you know, if you qualify, these are things you don't have to worry about. How do I pay for my baby's asthma medicine, or how do I pay for the aspirin that I need? Those things will be covered, so you can cover food, you can cover transportation.
Right, your main dollars to go toward those needs. Now we have a question from the audience, and I want to make sure that they hear you on the stream. So please talk very loud into the microphone.
Okay. Well, I'm already loud, but okay. I had a question. In regards to Medi-Cal, when you first enroll in Medi-Cal, they have you select a plan, either Health Plan or Health Net. But I know they had a Health Plan Kaiser. And so if you originally had just a normal health plan, can you switch it over to Kaiser?
So, to Health Plan, am I still on? Oh,
yeah, you're still on.
So I can't hear myself.
That's okay.
So there was a change at the beginning of the year where Kaiser became their own plan. And so you have to actually call Kaiser and ask them if you qualify within their requirements to transfer to their service. I would say just reach out, call Kaiser. They have your number. I used to remember it by my site, but I don't remember it anymore. But you can call them. That's okay.
Testing 1 2.
Oh, I'm sorry, wrong person.
Testing 1 2. Okay. While we're waiting for the microphone, and I'm hoping that you can hear from us. I want to openly thank Health Plan of San Joaquin for being an excellent sponsor.
Yes.
Excellent sponsor. Come on, clap it up. Clap it up. I want our streaming families to hear from us. There you go. I can put my feminine voice back on. Okay, I want to tell Health Plan in San Joaquin, we thank you. And to Health Plan, HealthNet and Kaiser, Permanente, we're watching and we're wondering. And we thank you for also joining in this effort to raise awareness and support on what we're needing in our families. I want to thank Health Plan in San Joaquin. They have been vital in this series of baby showers that help bring the community together, but also recruit CHWs and bring out our resources to the communities that are the most underserved. And we have strategically put each baby shower in the regions of South Stockton, in the most census tracts that are most underserved. And we want to thank you, Vina, for always being an advocate, lifting up our voices, our lived experiences, because if it's not for advocates like you, we don't know where we will be. And we thank you for all your expertise and just coming here on the podcast. You've waited and listened and mingled and engaged. And this is what we need from our system advocates. So thank you.
It's our pleasure. I mean, health plan is very much the understanding that our children are really important to us.
Yes.
And our children are really at many times the foundation that keeps our family together.
Yeah.
They continue our family. So we're really here for our kids. We're here for our moms, our dads, because dads often think they don't qualify. Dads, I need y'all to step up.
Come on.
And go and apply.
Go
and try. And if you do qualify, use those benefits. Don't hesitate. Go in for your well check. Go in for your cancer screenings. Go in for your weight. You know, know your numbers. Know your numbers with our brothers, our fathers, knowing what your weight, your blood pressure, your number is. I'm not calling nobody out today. I know mine. I don't think everybody know theirs, right? So, and then staying on top of that. You know, it's about being healthy, and that's what health plan and other plans are here for, is to help support you in that, not to treat you when you're at your sickest, right? We always think of ourselves as we're sick care, right? I think it was Martin Luther King who talked about sick care. The greatest injustice to Americans was disparities in healthcare or injustice in healthcare. And so sick care is really what our system is built on. I know as the health plan, we're really focused on well care because we care about you all. We care about you. We care about ourselves. We care about our employees and our families, and many of our employees are your family.
Yes.
I do want to give a little shout out today,
Yes,
one
please.
to RSSC for thanking us. But also, we want to thank you for having us as a partner. I want to give a shout out to the brothers that spoke earlier
Yes.
today. If you didn't get an opportunity, we bring back this live because they spoke some really amazing things
They
today.
spoke the truth.
And then because the online audience cannot see this as a perpetual auntie, just watching what's happening out here and how it's happening and just the joy in everyone's faces is amazing. So be at the next one, right?
Be at the next one. And so the next one is going to be in August. We're going to be taking a break for July. And I want to let you know, happy Juneteenth. We are free. We are free. Happy Juneteenth. And we conduct ourselves as such. So when you're free, you're advocating for your health care. You see how I turned that all the way
Well,
around?
one last thing.
Ooh, yes.
So happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day.
Father's Day. We all have fun. I always say pancakes. That was our tradition. And we
Yeah.
would do pancakes for our dad. They be burning.
In the morning.
It's so disgusting. But in a way, he would try. He would really try to influence his heart. So please enjoy your Father's Day. Enjoy that if you don't have your father with you, enjoy someone else's father and just show them how much you love them.
Thank you, Vina. Well said, like the queen that you are. And listen, I'm Rebel Ray. I love you. Peace and blessings. I am going to get off this set before I'm blown away. like the Wizard of Oz. I can't even be blown away in the tornado, y'all. But thank you so much, and to really just focus on thanking everyone that came out here today. We had about 60 community relatives come out and just be with us in space, brought their children, brought their babies, and this is what this is about. We love you. We want you to continue to push, persevere, stay encouraged, stay in power, open up and lift up your voices because we're free. Ashe, amen, and peace.